After watching 8 X-Men shows and the 14 Fox X-Men movies, or one technically is an MCU one, I will consider myself an X-Men expert. Or if not, I'm definitely a big X-Men fan now. But one thing I can say for certain is that not a single version of any of these shows or movies have a good version of the Dark Phoenix story. This is like the one story that Marvel can't seem to get right in anything. Like, we're talking about animation, live action, there's not really a great version of this story, which is surprising because like it's like apparently like one of the best X-Men stories, and this is what we get. Like, not a single one of these versions are good. Whether we're talking about the 2 live action movies or whether we're talking about all the X-Men shows that try and do it, none of them are actually that good. Alright, let's start out with the worst one, and for me, in my opinion, that's going to be X-Men Dark Phoenix for 2019. This is the worst version of the Dark Phoenix storyline I have ever seen. Of all the ones I've watched, this one is actually like the worst one. Like, for starters, freaking aliens, man. Why are there aliens in this movie? The aliens just took away everything from this movie and just made it another mediocre superhero movie, which could have been an amazing movie if it just didn't have aliens. If the story just focused on Jean and the X-Men and maybe Magneto, if they could have made it work there. But like, aliens, really? Like, what? Like, that honestly takes away like everything from the movie. Like, overall, this movie is just mediocre. It's not that bad, if you ask me. I don't think it's one of the worst comic book movies of all time, but it's just not good. Alright, next is The Last Stand, X-Men 3, and honestly, I don't think this movie is as bad as some people say. I find some enjoyment out of it, but the worst part about it is definitely the fact that you use the X-Men Dark Phoenix storyline as a B-plot in the movie. So for the whole lot of the movie, Jean is just like standing there doing absolutely nothing, just watching, which is like, what? Why would you waste such an important like X-Men storyline on the B plot of a freaking A plot? Like, don't get me wrong, I love Magneto and all that, but like, he's already been the villain for like 2 X-Men movies. Why would they make him again? Why would they use him again as the villain in X-Men 3? Like, I don't understand. If you are gonna use him as the villain, bro, like, just use him. Don't use Jean and bring him for the Dark Phoenix storyline. Just use that for another movie. Like I don't know why they did that crap. Like, this movie could have been legit amazing had they focused on either A or B plot. Had either focused on the Magneto and the Cure storyline, or if I focus on the X-Men Dark Phoenix storyline. Like, it tried to do both, but it just, at the end, it just like fumbles with both of them. They just couldn't make it work, could they? But overall, some of the like the Dark Phoenix storyline stuff in here, I don't think it's that bad. Like, when Jean kills Professor X, or Hercules Scott, or like Wolverine having the killer in the end, like, some of the visuals were really cool, and it could have worked. And like, every part of Jean and Dark Phoenix storyline was honestly the best part. But had that just been the whole movie, it would have been way better. And the fact that it's just like a B plot, that's really what drags it down. But overall, I don't think it's that bad, but it definitely was wasted. Like, one of the good things about The Last Stand also is the fact that it has 0 aliens. No aliens inside, which is always a plus for me. It's so funny to me that Fox had 2 shots of doing an X-Men Dark Phoenix, and they fumbled both of them. Like, how did they fumble like that? Like, I don't understand, bro. You had 2 chances and you missed both of them. Alright, next is gonna be the X-Men, the animated series. Now, I love this show, but this show tried to do like the Dark Phoenix or the Phoenix story, like, and they did it like 2 different times, each one being like 4 parts. And honestly, I don't think either one of them was really that good. Alright, like the first part, I remember like the Phoenix had consumed Jean, and like freaking some aliens were after her. Again, aliens, I don't know what's with aliens or something in the Dark Phoenix. Maybe it was in the original comic or something, but again, why would they add aliens, like crazy aliens, something like that? But whatever, okay. What I remember is like Jean gets consumed by the Phoenix, and she's kind of like a savior, and like she's trying to stop like some evil guy from destroying the universe, from like getting some diamond or something. So like, she tries to like stop him and all that. And like the 4 episodes, I remember correctly, and the first one they go to space, and that's how Jean gets the freaking Phoenix and all that. I don't remember what happens in the other ones, to be honest with you, but I remember that it wasn't really that great. Honestly, it was honestly just so forgettable that I can't even remember it. I legit just watched it like last month, so the fact that I can't even remember it shows how like forgettable it was. Oh yeah, and in the end, like, Jean and the Phoenix saved the day, and like she like goes off at the end and like says goodbye or something. Yeah, she says goodbye. Those were good. Like, the moments where with Cyclops and Wolverine like both like caring about Jean, I remember those were good moments. It has some cool moments too, but like overall it wasn't really that good. Like, it was about like Jean the Phoenix just trying to stop some evil guy. It would like some very emotional moments here and there, But overall, it wasn't bad, I would say, but it just wasn't like that epic or good like I thought it could have been. But overall, it's mediocre, really. It's like a 6 out of 10, in my scale. It's not bad, it's just alright, I guess. Now, the second time they did it, which was actually called the Dark Phoenix, this one was a bit better, but it was just kind of weird. Like freaking, so like, I remember one part, Jean like comes back or something, and then like she goes to see Scott. Well, like this was after she already came back, but like I remember one scene like Jean just goes off to see Scott, and Scott is kissing another girl, and then she kind of gets jealous, and then like freaking she gets Sebastian Shaw just takes advantage of her or something. I don't remember it was him or someone else, one of the Hellfire Club members or something. They take her with her. They take her with them, and they like manipulate her and like control her, and like one of them makes her his wife, which was just so weird. Like I don't know why this show just like this particular part just got so weird. And then like after that, like the X-Men try and save her, which led to a cool Wolverine moment, which apparently, yeah, it was like a scene in the comics.
I know what you're thinking, punk. I know what you're thinking, punk. Question is, can I get Wolverine before he turns me into shish kebab with those claws? Humbub. Seeing as how these claws are adamantium, the strongest metal known, and can slice through vanadium steel like a hot knife through butter, buddy. You gotta ask yourself, do I feel lucky?
But besides that, like, I think the scenes that work best in this 4-parter, or maybe it might have been 5, but I think it was 4, were again all the Dark Phoenix moments with her and the X-Men, when she completely like bodies the X-Men, shows how more powerful she is, and scenes where they were trying to like get her back to be more Jean, and then the Phoenix saying like, there is no Jean, I am the Phoenix rises, and all that. Like, that was good stuff, and it could have been way better had again it not involved freaking aliens. Like, I'm so tired of these aliens. I don't care about aliens. So like the aliens come to Earth and they're like, we have to kill Jean Grey because the Phoenix is too powerful and all that. And then they put the X-Men like and the aliens and the freaking battle thing, and whoever wins gets to decide what happens to Jean. And at the end of the day, the X-Men are about to lose, but then Jean becomes a Phoenix. And then I remember that like the Phoenix was just like, oh, I was evil for a bit, but now I'm good. And then she kind of leaves. Yeah, that's what I remember. Which again, it was again kind of forgettable because I watched it like last month. But yeah, I'm tired of these aliens, man. Like, I don't want to see aliens no more. Especially, like, I'm so done with aliens. But yeah, overall, like, this one was a lot better than the first one. But it's just not that great. Like, I wish it would have been so much better. Like, again, why would they involve aliens, man? Why couldn't it just been about the X-Men and Dark Phoenix Jean? Like, it could have been just about that, and it would have been so much better. But then they added, like, the Hellfire Club and, like, the freaking aliens. But overall, it was okay. Like, it was okay. It was just like, this show has a lot of great like part episodes. Like, this show has a lot of great arcs. I don't understand why the Dark Phoenix arc wasn't as good as the other ones. But overall, I still love this show, but I'm just kind of disappointed how they handled the Dark Phoenix stuff, and it just wasn't as good as I maybe thought it could have been. This one, I'm only going to touch on a little bit, which was an X-Men 97 when the Phoenix just came out of nowhere, and like, well, like, I am Phoenix and all that. Like, that was a cool scene, and there's nothing really much to it. I only brought it up because, you know, it was the Phoenix and Jean and all that, and it was an X-Men 97, and like, yeah, I mean, it looked cool, and it was a cool scene, and like, you know, the Phoenix just kind of left, and that was really all to it. Alright, before I move on and talk about the final 2 X-Men Dark Phoenix storylines that I've seen, I'm going to talk about X-Men Evolution. Now, X-Men Evolution didn't have one, but at the final episode, there was like a tease of it before it got cancelled. And I feel like had X-Men Evolution had the chance to tell this story, I feel like it would have been, actually no, I know it would have been the best version of this story we will probably ever see. Until maybe the MCU does like one. But even then, I don't know if we can trust the MCU to do like a great X-Men Dark Phoenix storyline. Even if that's probably like in 10 years. So like, I feel like X-Men Evolution, had it like had one, it would have been the best version of this story we have to date. Like, X-Men Evolution just does such a great job with its characters and the stories. And it was like, this honestly would have been the first one that actually would have made me emotional. Because I actually really care about these versions of these characters, and like seeing Jean turn of the X-Men and all that, like that would have been amazing. And honestly, again, it would have been the best version if they got the chance. Alright, next is, now this one I actually do think is good, but the thing is, it's just so different than like the typical like Jean Grey Dark Phoenix storyline then I'm not even sure if you can really call it a Jean Grey Dark Phoenix storyline. It's really just a Phoenix storyline. Not spoilers, but in Wolverine and the X-Men. So in the beginning, Jean like has the Phoenix or something, and like she kind of like blows up, and Professor X goes missing because of that. And like the whole X-Men kind of think that they both died and they kind of disband, and Cyclops is kind of sad now. And Wolverine becomes like the leader because Cyclops is just not in the mental state to become the leader again, because you know he misses Jean. He's very sad because of that. But like I remember like, okay, so Jean goes into like a coma for like a year or something, and then when she wakes up, she can't remember who she is. And then Emma Frost and Cyclops like go and see her. I forgot how they found her, but like they go and see her. And then like Jean just has like a, yeah, she has like a meltdown, and she kind of goes crazy a bit, and like everybody in the city like passes out. And then like Cyclops and Emma Frost wake up, and because Emma's also a telepath, she doesn't black out as much. And then she helps Cyclops, and they go to the hospital, and they kind of find her. And then Cyclops actually they find her, and then Cyclops is like, Jean, it's me, your love, Scott. And then Jean's like, I don't know who you are. And then yeah, that happens. I don't remember what happens after that, but I remember again. I do remember this is that the fact that Emma was actually a traitor this whole time. He's actually working for the Hellfire Club, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Hellfire Club. And they trying to use Jean because, you know, she has the Phoenix. Now, apparently the Phoenix is actually, it's been alive for like centuries or like thousands of years or whatever. And like chooses a powerful telepath every time. And like it chose Jean. And they're trying to take control of the Phoenix and Jean. But then like Jean kind of like wakes up, and like they kind of like separate the Phoenix and Jean. And then the Phoenix is controlled by like some other like 4 telepaths that like all look the same. I think they were twins or something, I don't know. And then they take control of the Phoenix and they start destroying stuff. And then in the end though, like Emma kind of sacrifices herself to like destroy the Phoenix and the 4 twin girls. And that's really about it. And then Scott is kind of sad now because she loves Emma now. Like they grew a relationship together. Not like, you know, romantic, but like they kind of really liked each other, and they kind of might have been together or something. I don't know, had she not died. And then like when Scott gets back to Jean, you know, I'm pretty sure he's kind of sad. But yeah, overall I do think that it was way better play out in the show than how I probably described it. It's actually really good. I actually do enjoy it. The only thing is it's just way too different than anything else. Like it's not really the Dark Phoenix Jean Grey storyline, because there's never really a scene with Jean and when she's like, you know, she's controlled by the Phoenix and all that, she's going crazy and she's fighting the X-Men, and Scott is like, no, Jean, come back to me, and all that crap. But like that doesn't really happen. It's just, I do think it's a good storyline, but the thing is, the reason it works is because the whole season is set up to that. So it's like, I'm not really sure if it's really Jean Grey Dark Phoenix storyline. It's technically a Dark Phoenix storyline, and overall I do think it's good, but it's just a little bit too different to really like call it Jean Grey Dark Phoenix storyline. And I feel like that's why it's not as great maybe as it could have been if it was just really a typical like original Jean Grey, and like, you know, her going crazy by the Dark Phoenix and fighting the X-Men. But overall it was different, and I do think it was good. But yeah, it's probably, in my opinion, it's probably the best version of like the best story wise. It's probably the best one, but I just feel like it's a little bit way too different. Alright, next is the one which I think is the best version of the X-Men Dark Phoenix Jean X-Men story or whatever. Like, you know, this the whole thing, this whole video has been about. I think the best version is the X-Men anime. Now, I'm gonna leave the clips in the description, because last time I freaking used X-Men anime, the video got copyright. Even though I don't make money from this, I'm not really sure what to do of a copyright. Like, or, I don't know. Like, I don't want to mess with YouTube. Okay, I don't want to get no copyright. I don't even know I don't make money. Like, I'm pretty sure they could probably take my channel down if I get another one, because like I already have 3. So I'm sorry, okay, I can't show it, okay, I'm so sorry, I'm a coward, I'm sorry, please forgive me. But yeah, I'll leave it in the description if you want to see it. And like those opening sequences are just so amazing. Like this is epic. This is everything I wish the movies were, and I feel like, yeah, like a whole movie about this would just be so awesome. Like, yeah, like this is what I think of when I think X-Men Dark Phoenix and Jean like story. Like this is what I think of. It was just so awesome. And even though it's only 2 minutes, it was freaking awesome. It was amazing. The animation was cool. Everything about it was just so freaking awesome. The only thing that sucks was that it was like 2 minutes and that's it. Had the show or the anime done like a whole like episode, or even if the whole season was about this, I feel like it would have been amazing. But just for the like these 2 minutes, it was fantastic. Like it was great. Like it was freaking amazing. Like, yeah, I don't know what I can say about it. Go watch it yourself, man. It's freaking amazing. Alright, so that was the journey I went on when I watched as much X-Men content I could have. I already ranked the shows and I ranked the movies. If you're interested in any of that, now, like again, coming to the end of my X-Men journey, which this isn't actually, wait, I think this might be my final X-Men video for a while. I don't know. It might be. I think it actually might be. But overall, like, I'm glad I went on the journey because before any of this, I wasn't really the biggest X-Men fan. I liked the movies. Watching other shows, man, it really made me a huge X-Men fan. And I'm honestly like so happy I did this over my summer. I'm really glad I did this. This was a lot of fun. Like seeing all these stories and all the similarities and differences between all the universes of the X-Men. It was great, and I'm glad I did it. Yeah, like go watch all my X-Men videos if you're interested.